What is going on, guys? Today is dyno day, so we got the 240 all loaded up, and I'm excited to get down there. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what she makes on E85. We made it once again. So I'm gonna unload the car and then the fun can begin. This is my baby. First car that I ever built, and I'm so happy with how she's turned out. Still got work to do, but these poor 205s, they're just gonna be spinning. Everything looks good on the dash so far. Letting her run for a little bit. So we're getting ready. We got to work out a couple things on the dyno. So we got our E85 here. We've got 7 gallons here. Chris is going to clean up the tune on 91, and then we'll start adding E85 and see how it goes. Getting everything set up on the dyno. I'm just like really nervous, excited. I hope we get high 3s. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. If you guys are in the Southern California area, definitely hit up Chris. I'll have his stuff here. Great tuner. He does other things too. Just send him a DM. Tell him I sent you. So ran into a little bit of an issue. It turned out that we had 2 spark plugs with cracked ceramic. See that line right there? This one cracked way worse. It's literally physically a part there. I can fit my fingernail through it. So we threw 2 new plugs in, so now we're gonna do everything again and hopefully everything is good to go. This is the first startup with some E85 in it. It's not exactly 85%. Right now we still have some 91 left in the tank, so it's about E40. There's like 44% of ethanol. Having some issues with the ECUmaster software. We were going to do like a flex fuel tune to where it doesn't matter how much ethanol is in it, it will read it and then it'll have its own like set up for that percentage. But for some reason that's not working, so we're just going to try and get as much E85 in it as we can and tune it like that. And then I'll have to come back once Chris figures out all that with ECUmasters. So right now we have around 12 gallons of E85 in, and the rest is 91, and it is full. Like, I filled it up and I overflowed a little bit. Yeah, so now all there's left to do is try and tune it on what we got. So we got a couple things going on. Chris is still trying to figure things out. Probably going to be wrapping soon. One big issue is the ECU I have is the ECUmaster emu black, and it's supposed to have a 4-bar built-in map sensor, and that's what we're using. The software is limiting us to 2.5 bar, and we can't figure out how to get more than that. Because anything above 20 psi, it doesn't let Chris see what the motor's doing. So he can't add fuel, he can't take fuel out, he can't mess with the timing, he can't do anything. Chris raised all the limits for the safeties, so we should be able to go past 20 without any issues, unless, you know, something bad happens with the motor. But for some reason, it's hitting a fuel cut, and it's turning the injectors off when we get past 20. So we don't know if that's because it's exceeding the limit of the map sensor, so the 4-bar that's only giving us 2.5 bars to play with. Definitely an L for today. I'm gonna have to come back once Chris figures out everything and gets with ECUmaster. But for now, we'll see what he leaves the tune at, and when I come back, I'll make sure to be 100% E85, because right now, like I said, we're on E54% ethanol. Chris was saying E70 is like kind of ideal. Between E60 and E70 is kind of like ideal. So that's where we are now. So here was the final run. We ended up putting down 387 and 302 foot-pounds. Now this white one is the final one, and right around like 5,500 it just pulled timing and then it went back up. It's doing that same on the horsepower too, that's why it's not smooth like the rest. That was the only run that did that. We still don't know why. All the other ones were good, and then they hit a fuel cut. For some reason this one didn't hit the fuel cut, but it hit that, so we're not too sure. This was what we made when we first showed up, 306 and 244 on 91. So I won't be driving this car until we get all that stuff figured out with the ECU. The chances of someone from ECUmaster seeing this video is probably pretty low, but if you guys do and the video is still uploaded recently, then please send me a DM on Instagram or something. Hit me up on here. Just get in touch with me so we can try and figure this out, because we don't know what the hell is going on. I'm the only person with ECUmaster that Chris tunes, so his practice time is only with my car. So while he's tuning other cars, he's not familiar with the software, because I'm the only car that he ever has to use the software on. So I mean, we have the new turbo manifold. It seems to be holding up pretty well. I'm gonna compression test the motor again just to make sure, because the compression test that we did recently was at 130 for all 6 cylinders, which is really low. But the leak down test showed that we were only losing 2 to 4 psi per cylinder. So I'm gonna do a compression test with a different compression tester and make sure that it was not the compression tester that was just reading low. Yeah, so that's where we stand with this. We are done for the night. Thank you, Chris. He did everything that he could. We did make some good numbers, but unfortunately I will not be driving this car until we get it to 100%. So desert trips are gonna have to be on hold. Not the end of the world, but I will be compression testing it. Alright guys, so it is the next day. Unfortunately, the dyno didn't go exactly as planned. We were having issues with the ECU, like I said earlier. Hopefully they have some answers for us, because it's weird that it's advertised as a 4-bar map sensor, but we're only allowed to use 2.5 bar for the map pressure. We tried updating the software, the firmware, everything. We updated the ECU. Every possible update that could have been done, we did, and still didn't change anything. We spent a lot of time troubleshooting, just trying to figure out what's going on, because like I said in the video earlier, I'm the only person that Chris has tuned that has an ECUmaster ECU. So the only time he ever gets any experience with it is when I show up to tune my car. It's just not a common thing in Southern California, apparently. Hopefully ECUmaster can help us out and we can get this thing figured out, because I really want to have my 240 running at 100%. I'm happy with the power that it made. The thing is that above 20 psi, we have no idea what the motor's doing. We're not getting any feedback from the ECU from that, because it's cutting off at 2.5 bar, like I said. So under 20 psi, we can get it pretty good. Above 20 psi, we have no idea what's going on. We were trying everything, and it just got to a point where we've been working at this for too long. We have zero support because it's a weekend. So we're gonna have to revisit this, and I'm gonna have to tow my 240 back out there. But you know, it is what it is. I want the car 100%. And like I showed you guys earlier, the 240 only made 300 horsepower on 91 on the same exact tune that we had when we were making 330. So what I'm going to do is compression test the motor, and I'm gonna use 2 different testers, because last time I did it, it got 130 across all 6, and the first time I did it, when I picked the motor up, it got 160 across all 6, so that's a pretty significant loss. However, the leak down tests show we were losing 2 to 4 psi per cylinder at top dead center, so it shouldn't be that low. So that's the plan. That'll be a separate video. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you did. If you guys have any experience with ECUmaster, if you know anyone who does, please leave a comment down below or hit me up on Instagram. I'll have it up here. It's also in the description as always. Check out all of Chris's info. That'll be in the description as well. And then hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.